Make it a lifestyle. When we talk about discipline, when we talk about achieving things, it all comes down to living it as a lifestyle. Firstly, we need to talk about the military schedule. That means if you have the possibility somehow to do the same things every day at the same time, try it as best as you can. Because if you get used to a lifestyle, that means having habits and doing the same thing at the same time, then it will be so much easier for you to just achieve the things you want to achieve. You know, when you go to school, you get a timetable, and of course, the subjects are not the same every day, but it's basically says you clearly what to do. You come to school mostly at the same time, and often you end school at the same time. So you get used to it. You get a routine, you get a system behind it, and you just know, okay, Monday to Friday, you're going to school, you know what you're going to do there. And this is what you need in your day-to-day life. And when you cultivate this lifestyle, you won't have problems with discipline anymore, because it basically comes down to doing the same thing over and over again. And what happens if you do this is that you actually getting used to whatever you do, and it becomes more hard not to do the thing than to actually do the thing. This is the most incredible, or at least one of the incredible things our minds are capable of. We're just getting used to things so extreme quickly. And if you don't believe me, you just have to think about it yourself, your experience. And if you don't believe me or yourself, just believe David Goggins.
I talk about the new norm. When I lived in a $7 a month place when I was growing up for a short period of time, I loved it. I didn't know any different. That was my norm. Once we moved out of that place, we moved to a $236 a month place. I was like, I never want to go back to that little piece of shit. But if you go back to that $7 a month place and you realize this is where I live, this is all I got, your mind says, roger that.
There are many people saying that, oh, I can't do the same thing over and over again. I very often hear this when it comes down to nutrition. People say, okay, but I can't eat the same food every day, every week. That's not for me. I think you can, but what holds you back is that you're trying to do a thing forever. You have in your mind, okay, if I start my new diet now, I will do it forever. Then I need to eat the same nutrition every day. And this visualization makes you miserable, because you get bad emotions when you think of the whole mountain instead of just thinking, okay, it's 1 week, then it's another week, or even it's just 1 day, not even a week. I think this mindset is responsible for many people not even starting, because they're just holding themselves back mentally. Of course, the military timetable is not possible for everyone, because if you can't decide at which time you're doing which thing or which activity, of course that makes it harder. But you can still say, okay, when I come home from work, I do the same thing every day at the same time. So at least you can customize your military timetable as best as possible. And this is what I often say. You need to customize the things so they suit best for you. You can't just use a general tip that's for everybody. You always need to take pieces and see how you can implement them into your life so it suits your goals best. But do yourself a favor and try to think about which lifestyle you need to live to achieve the goals you want to achieve. Because if you do this, you're just in the process. You don't even have to think about the goals, because if you're just doing the thing, you're already on the way towards your goals. They will come automatically. Just like someone who goes to McDonald's every day will get fat, you will become ripped, for example, if you go to the gym every day. So it's just this process focusing mindset. And if you're doing this on the negative side and you think, okay, I can't start because I don't want to eat the same nutrition every day, then you won't even start, and it just holds you back. By setting up a new lifestyle, of course, you need to go further little by little, step by step. That means, of course, you can't change your life in one day and live a completely new lifestyle. But I'm a big fan of starting where you are, starting just right now. I'm such a big fan of this because when I started, I always thought I need to start perfectly with a clean track record, and I basically never really started because as soon as I did one tiny mistake, I just stopped and said, okay, I will start the next day. But if you just start where you are and you're trying to focus on building one thing little by little, implementing one little step at a time, you will just develop so fast and adapt because your human mind is made for adaptation so fast that you will just achieve your goals and live this lifestyle and just get used to the things. And I know right now there are many people saying, but I don't want to build a new lifestyle. Yeah, you have goals. Every human being has goals. Don't tell me something different. The question is, how involved are you into your goals? Do you say, oh, I want to achieve X, or are you really focused on achieving X and you're really wanting it? If you say, I don't want a new lifestyle, you say this because you're currently living a lifestyle that leads to bad things. You're living a lifestyle that you clinch to, that makes you feel good in the moment, but that does not let you achieve your goals. For example, you're waking up scrolling on your phone. Now I tell you, don't do that. Get up and read the Bible. You will say, oh, I don't want to because this scrolling gives you dopamine instantly. You got used to it because you bought into that lifestyle. But guess what? It's just hard starting the new lifestyle for about 2 weeks. If you got into it, it will become hard not to get up and read the Bible or do the thing you implemented, because we just adapt to the things we do every day. So if you say, I don't want to change, it's really all about because you implemented bad habits, a bad lifestyle, and now it's painful for letting this go. This is why I tell you, start simple. Start with little steps that you know you can achieve and just hold on to them until they become part of you. You can also work with rewards. So you think, okay, when I get up early and I read the Bible, after that, I am eating a nice breakfast. Something that works for you, again, putting the pieces together so they suit for you. And then just start little by little. So don't clinch to your bad lifestyle. If you actually want to achieve goals, develop a lifestyle that automatically brings you back to your goals. Face your emotions, confront them, and start changing things.